Hey folks, it's Tommy Frugal Prepper. I want to talk a little bit about canning jars. Um, Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I am not like a cannerologist dude, as Jane All Zero would say. I'm just a dude. Okay? If you're a canning Nazi, this is the way I do it, and I've done it this way for a long time. If you're a canning Nazi and this doesn't appeal to you, then hey, do it your way. Um, I'm just telling you what I've done. Um, So I want to say, canning jars get pretty expensive, especially you have to buy them during canning season because you don't have enough. So always look for them on clearance in the wintertime after the season's really over. Usually you'll find them like as much as half off. Whether you buy Golden Harvest, Kerr, Ball, doesn't matter. They're all made by the same place, Jarden Brands. Except for that Walmart Mainstays brand, those things are complete junk. Okay, those lids are dangerous if you use them in the pressure canner, and they're complete junk. That's my opinion. Stay the heck away from those things. They're only 50 cents cheaper a box, and they're never on sale. Buy Ball or Kerr or Golden Harvest instead. You're just going to be happier and safer. You don't want jars to explode on you when they come out of the canner, because you're looking at probably some pretty good third-degree burns. And I had another video a while back where I talked about those lids are just dangerous because they actually bulge up and you see their rings starting to give as they come out of the pressure canner. And if one of those gives out on you while it's under pressure, you're going to be hurt. And you especially don't want that in an SHTF situation when you may have limited access to medical help. So I would stay away from those. I've always had good luck staying with Ball, Kerr, Mason, or I'm sorry, Ball, Kerr, and Golden Harvest brand jars and lids and rings. But there are some other jars that you might be able to buy, and you can use them for canning. Now I know some canning Nazis will tell you that you're going to blow up your house and your family, and your roof's going to land 10 blocks away and stuff if you try to use one of these in the pressure canner, and they're not safe and blah 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 blah, right? And they're thinner because they make them thinner for cheaper transportation, and they probably do. But I have used this in particular, and this jar, or this style jar, these two styles in particular, a lot in both the pressure and water bath can. Never had one crack. I've done it for years. But this jar here comes from the Classico pasta sauce, and it even says Atlas Mason. Now, Atlas is a brand that's defunct. I don't even think it's owned by anybody now. It used to be part of the Atlas Herzl Glass Company back in the earlier part of the last century, but now it's just defunct. Mason is not a brand. It refers to the narrow mouth thread pattern and style. So that's what makes it a Mason jar. The ring will screw on it. There are some older zinc top Mason jars that worked with the zinc tops, but they have a rougher, they're hand blown and they have a rougher lip, and you don't want to use those with a modern canning lid. By the way, you usually see them like blue and green and stuff like that. But they are still considered Mason because they have that same thread pattern. The wide mouths technically are not a Mason jar. They're a wide mouth jar, which is a newer standard, and so you don't normally see the Mason logo on those, but that's what Mason refers to. It's not a brand. These work fine in the pressure and water bath canner, and they come with the sauce. So you find the sauce, especially if it's on sale, stock up on it. Keep that in your pantry instead of other brands. You can reuse those jars if you need to preserve food. And it's the same thing with this fruit. This is mixed fruit from Aldi's. This is really good fruit. It's very low calorie. It's packed in real juice instead of high fructose corn syrup water. And I love it. And so I keep some of it in the pantry. And I reuse these jars when I'm done. They have a standard canning style top. They're also, both of these are 1.5 pints. So you would process them as quarts. And they'll work just fine for you. This one, I haven't actually used this one for canning, but this is coconut oil that my wife got somewhere, but it has a standard Mason style top, so when she's done with the coconut oil, I'll probably can in this too. It's got the right sized top on it, it'll work. Some of these, you know, I may just water bath them, because this one feels a little bit thin to me, so I might not put it in the pressure canner, but I might. You know, one broken jar isn't going to ruin your whole life, right? At least that's how I feel. But that's just a thought. Look, if you think this isn't safe and that these jars are going to kill you, hey, more power to you. Buy the more expensive jars and use those. I think that's great if you got the money. But if you are looking for a way to repurpose and reuse things, that's just a thought. Especially if you're going to stockpile this for a long time and you may need more canning jars to put stuff back from a garden. Why not stockpile a jar that you could use to preserve food? Even if you just water bath in it and pickle and stuff like that. Okay, folks, that's it. Everybody, be happy and frugal out there. And remember, canning saves you money, and being able to reuse some canning jars and repurpose them save you even more money.